Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Hofer, and today we're going to do math lesson 27. And we have a very special number today. Today we're going to work with the number 10. Number 10 uses all of our fingers. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of our fingers. So 10's kind of a special number, and when we write it, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So today we're going to count by tens. When we count by tens, we're going to count all the way to 100. So we're going to count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Yeah, it takes 10 times to get to 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So sometimes I use my fingers to count by 1, and sometimes I use my fingers to count by 10. So practice counting by tens, practice counting by ones. Today, you're going to need this fluency page. And put it inside your dry erase mat if you should have one, because we're going to be erasing and changing, and so we need it in a dry erase mat. And you're going to need your dry erase marker, and you're going to need your lesson 27 pages. And if you have it, you can use, later we're going to use a chenille stem and some beads. Guess what? We're going to use 10 beads because we're going to use that special number today. So if you have a chenille stem and 10 beads, if not, you can use your cubes. So let's go ahead and get started. So you're going to need these things first, okay, and this paper. And we're going to look at this, we call this an array down here, an array of 10. And we are going to take apart the array. And that means we're like if we played Snap and we snap apart our cubes, well, we are going to just draw a line to sort or snap our array apart, okay? So I could snap it this way. I could break it apart right down the middle like that. And then I'm going to fill in one of the number bonds to show the way that I broke that or decomposed this number. So decompose means taking it apart. Decompose means taking it apart, okay? So we have our whole, we had 10, and we break it into two parts. That's called decompose. So I decompose this. So we have 10, and my two parts were 5 and 5, and I can count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now we're not going to erase our number bond. We're only going to erase the marks on the array. Okay? So now I want to come up with a different way to decompose the number 10. And this time I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to do it right here. Okay? So I have some dots on this side and some dots on that side, and I'm going to make my number bond to match, okay? So my hole is at the bottom this time, and I have one part is 2, and the other part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if you know what the other part is without counting, great, and you could just write it. That's not a very good 2. Okay? All right, and then I'm only going to erase my line, and I'm going to make another line. Let's see, this time I want to make my line like this. Okay? So the line doesn't have to necessarily be straight, okay? So I'm going to count how many dots are on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how many dots are on this side? 3. Okay. And you don't have to do the same ones I'm doing. You could draw your own lines and make it different than mine. Okay. So you're going to find 5 different ways to make the number 10 by snapping or decomposing this number here. Okay. I'm going to stop there, but I want you to finish until you have all 5 number bonds filled in. Okay. So go ahead and just pause the video and finish that. And I'm going to erase and continue on here in just a second. All right. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is your application problem. And again, we're going to work with the number 10. It says, it's your birthday. Maybe it is. You need 10 party hats for your friends. It says, draw 10 party hats. Well, when I think of party hats, I think of triangles or cones, but I can't really draw a cone that well. So I'm just going to draw triangles. And how many do I need? That's right, I need 10. So I'm going to make one party hat. And you can write it right on your paper. I'm just doing it on the dry erase board. Okay. So I need 10. And when I'm done drawing them, I'm going to count just to make sure that I really did 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. It says that some of our hats are red and some of our hats are blue. So again, I get to choose how many, and so do you. Okay. So I'm going to start with my red since it said red. See if I can find a red marker. Looks more like pink, right? There's 1. And I color 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make 4 red. And then I'm going to color the rest blue. Okay. So I have a picture now of 10 hats. And it says that I should make a number bond to go with my picture. Your picture does not have to match mine, okay? So I started with the number 10, and my parts are the red and the blue. So I did 4 red and 6 blue. And that's my number bond when I decompose the number 10. Okay, did yours look like mine or is it different? It could be different, right? You could have done 5 and 5 or 3 and 7. Okay, when you're done, you can go ahead and if you did it on dry erase mat, you can erase it. Or if you did it just on your paper, you can go ahead and put that to the side. So 10's kind of a special number because before you get to 10, they each only have 1 numeral, but 10 has 2. It's a 2-digit number. It has 1 digit and 2 digits. So 10's kind of a special number. And we are going to make a bracelet today. So like I said, if you have these materials, if not, you can use 10 cubes. And I'm going to put on 10 beads. I'm going to bend this one so it doesn't fall off. So there's 1. Whoops. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's my beads on my bracelet, okay? And I'm going to use this to help me make different ways to make the number 10. And then I'm going to put my answers on my board, okay? So we're going to see if we can come up with a lot of different ways to make 10. So if I start with 10, and then let's just move 1 over here, okay? So kind of like we did yesterday with our cubes, okay? We are going to make a number bond. And I can put 10 as my whole. And I have 9. And how many did I move over here? 1. So I could say 10 equals 9 plus 1. If I wanted to make my number sentence, I could start with the number 10 and then put the parts on the other side. Now I'm going to move another bead over, and I'm going to make a number bond for that one. Again, I need 10 because that's how many I started with. I didn't take any off of my bracelet. But this time, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoops. And then over here I have, can you see that? I have 2. Okay, and I could write a number sentence again. 10 equals 8 plus 2. I'm going to run out of room. I'm not going to be able to do all of them on the board. But we're going to keep moving this over just like we did with the cubes. Okay, so now we have 10 because that number didn't change. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I bet some of you already knew that. And I bet you know how many are over there. That's right, 3. 7 and plus 3 is the same as 10. So I can make a number sentence for that one. We're going to not do the number sentence since I'm about out of room. We're going to move another bead over. We have 10. And now on this side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on this side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, what's happening to my numbers? As this side gets smaller, this side gets bigger, right? So if I just keep moving one at a time, I'm finding different ways to make 10. And each time I do that, the number of beads on this side gets larger or more, and the number of beads on this side becomes smaller. Okay, so if you have beads, I want you to keep doing it until you get all the way across and find all the ways to make 10. Okay, and see if you can be a detective and find all of the ways. I think there could be 11 of them, especially if I put all the beads over here, I have 10 on this side, and how many are on this side? That's right, there are 0. So 10 and 0 can also be parts that we can use to make the number 10. Okay, so today, after you finish being a math detective and finding ways to make 10, if you find all the ways, take a picture of that, write them down, and show your teacher. Okay, you're going to get your paper and make sure you put your name on it. And then you're going to might need some help with somebody to read this for you. But it says, Benjamin had 10 bananas. He dropped some of the bananas. Fill in the number bond to show Benjamin's bananas. Now, they already did it for you because the ones he dropped are broken. Okay, so you're going to count those and count the ones that aren't and put them in the number bond. Okay, Savannah has 10 pairs of glasses. 5 are green and the rest are purple. color and fill in the number bond. So this time you get to decide how many. Oh no, 5 are green, so then the rest would be purple, so you don't get to decide. Okay. Xavier had 10 baseballs. Some were white and the rest were gray. Draw the balls and color to show how many may be white and gray. So this one you get to decide how many you want to be white and how many you want to be gray. And then fill in the number bond. There were 10 dragons playing. Some were flying and some were running. Draw the dragons, fill in the number bond. So you're going to draw some up in the clouds and some, but guess what? Dragons are kind of hard to draw, and this isn't a very big space. So you might want to use circles for your dragons because you need 10 of them, which is kind of a lot. Okay, so you would draw 10, some at the top and some at the bottom, and do your number bond. And then you get to tell your own story and draw a picture and make a number bond to go with it. All right, good luck finding all the ways to make 10, and I will see you tomorrow.